Hey guys, it's May 6th, and we are wrapping up our Diamond Strong training with, well, I think, I've been looking up to this lady for a long time. And her name is Christine Dwyer. I know we are so friggin' pumped to have you here, Christine. And
I'm very excited.
yeah, but some of you are hopping on and you weren't part of our Diamond Strong training, and that is okay. This call is going to be for you. So we're just going to get right into it. Now, tonight, I know that a lot of us know who this is, but for some of you who are joining our team and you're not quite sure who she is yet, she's actually a lot of our great grandma. I mean, to me, she's my great grandma. And for some of you, she's your great grandma. That's the fun part about this business, you guys, is that we're all connected. And so I have some stats to read off. You guys, this is ridiculous. 11 personally sponsored coaches in the multi-million club, 2 of them in the million club, and multi-figure, 6-figure earners. 6 personal sponsored coaches and as superstar diamond status, and 1 superstar diamond ×3. So that's ×3 in your business center. Superstar is basically 15 diamonds in your organization. So that's the highest paid rank in Beachbody. And you can open up multiple business centers. She is the highest earning, achieving, and has the largest team in downline. About 20 or 200,000, you guys, and all of you are a part of that, which is so cool. She's a founder of Platinum Presenters, which I remember listening to, Christine, your Platinum Presenters podcast way back in the day. You were just vital in the leadership for a lot of us. And then you guys, she's also founder of the Platinum Edge Conference. We have been going to that for about 4 years now, which is one of our favorite conferences. She has been ranked number 2 in the top 10 elite back in 2011. I'm going to mute.
That's good.
Oh, come on, Christine, come on. Do you want me to keep going? Because I can.
No, it's fine because, really a lot of times, titles and stuff like that, it doesn't really make a difference, especially when, you want to make sure the person is credible, but I think the biggest thing is we're all just going to connect with each other on the same playing field because we're all in the same trenches, no matter how long you've been in the business. So hopefully that helps a little bit.
She is just a rock star. We'll put it that. And she has about 8 or 9 other titles. But Christine, thank you so much for doing what you do and just leading the way, even when it's sometimes hard. And just all the training and all the hustle and the heart that you put into it is just really appreciated. So go ahead and take it away.
Oh, thank you so much. I do want to put a little correction. So I'm not the highest earning. So that little stat there is our team is we have the most highest earners all on Platinum Presenters, the highest achieving for rank. Our team really is just like stockpiled with a ton of success. I believe Janelle Summers is actually the highest earning coach within all of Team Beachbody. So that goes to show, just an even example of it doesn't matter where you are in the lineage of when you signed up. It doesn't matter because it's really not who came in first makes the most money, because Janelle is one of my sponsored coaches. So she has superseded me in rank as well as income earning. So again, it doesn't matter where you are. It's about what you do. So thanks so much, Heather, for inviting me. And I have to give huge props for Heather, first of all, for organizing all of this for all of you guys to take part in such a fantastic program. I know myself, it takes a lot of time to put it all together, to manage everyone, to make sure everyone is getting access and getting information. But also the other side is, as a leader, you kind of hold this responsibility and a level of either guilt or not guilt if people are moving forward and having success with what you're doing. And as a leader, I think that's important that as you all grow your business, you can't be responsible for other people's outcomes. You can arm them with the most amount of training and materials and support and hold their hand and pet their hair. You can do as much as you can, but it really comes down to the person and their desire to follow through and make things happen towards their goals. So I want you all to know that you don't fail only if you fail yourself. And that really is the foundation. So thank you so much, Heather, for inviting me to be here. And I really appreciate that opening that you didn't need to do, but I thank you all. So like she said, I've been a coach now. This May 31st is my 11-year join date. I joined May 31st of 2008. And I myself was a no. Someone told me about this coaching business and I said no. I didn't think it was a good thing. I really thought it was kind of silly to want to pay a monthly fee to have discounts for supplements. And it wasn't until a year later when my mentor and one of my closest friends, as well as my employer, had told me, you should do it. And she also told her family, you should do this. And she also told a ton of her friends, you should do this. And that is Chalene Johnson. So if that says anything, I was working for her company. I was right up there at the top. I was one of the right-hand girls. I think she had like 3 hands and I was one of them. And really responsible for the success and livelihood of her fitness certification company. But she told me and a lot of other people that were closely connected to her to do this extra business on the side that would require a lot of time and effort. And now, thankfully, looking back at that, I thank God that, first of all, I stepped in and did it because I trusted her. I knew that she wouldn't recommend to do something if it wasn't really legit, as well as a benefit to grow us personally, as well as help a lot of other people. But really now looking back, I had no idea that my job was actually going to be obsolete if I did not start something on the side. So I didn't know she planned to sell the company. I didn't know that she was already in talks with Beachbody to try to sell the certification company, which at the time, they actually rejected Beachbody's offer. And Beachbody decided they wanted to go off and do it on their own. And that's why P90X certification came about. And then they saw how hard it really is to create certifications out of the workouts. That's why they came back to Chalene and opened up the door again to purchase her company. But I had no idea that she was wanting to sell the company. And if I did not start something on the side, which was coaching in 2008, May 2008, then I would probably be back doing traveling for medical sales and applications, where I traveled nationally, internationally every week, 4 days a week. And so thank God that I trusted her, first of all. Second, that God did bring this opportunity and a platform for us to be able to grow something for ourselves, but to impact a lot of other people. But the third most important thing that I thank God for is that I didn't do this starting off for any title or any money. I really did not. I signed up, I was 5 months pregnant, and I already had a 1.5-year-old son. I had a full-time job and I had 3 part-time jobs. So I was kind of busy. The thing is that I did not focus for a title or for money, because when you do focus for those 2 things, I find it doesn't work out because you're too connected to that outcome of, am I going to have that success of getting a title? Am I going to have that accolade? Am I going to get the approval from others because I finally made that happen? And so I didn't even have that, because the best part is I didn't even understand it. I knew nothing about network marketing, and I really had no idea what the potential was. Growing up really poor, I didn't really look at money as a real thing, because I never thought that I could make a lot of money, especially because I was so limited in my career and my education and where I came from, that I really didn't see huge potential. So if I had a dream board back then, none of this stuff would be on that dream board because I didn't even know about it. So my real focus was, oh my gosh, I just asked a ton of people to do this with me. Now they're looking at me for, what do we do? And that's why I pushed so hard to make other people have success. That was my whole motivation in the beginning. So that is going to come back up again later on in what we're talking about. And I do want to open it up for Q&A. Now, Heather, I did email you at the last second right before I went to go put the kids off to bed, a document that you can email off to people. I could put it in the chat. Can I put it in the chat?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if I can, but this is just a quick document that I put up. How the heck do I do it? All right. So here's chat. I don't know how I can do it. How can I do this? I don't think I can.
You sent me an email? Is it?
In Facebook I did, because I don't have your real email.
Oh.
So I don't know if you could put that document up in this chat.
Okay.
And what I just put together, And if you guys don't have it now, then you can have it for later and even do it with your own team if you kind of want to repurpose this call. But I put together just a little kind of fill in the blank Q&A. And with it, I hope you guys will just kind of go through as I ask some questions, because I want to front load some of the stuff that's most important with when you are building a coaching business for long term. What really is the foundation? What really is the root of you still staying in it and going through those highs and the lows? So that's why I had to say in the beginning that titles and successes, all that stuff really doesn't make a huge difference, because, quite honestly, a lot of people have no idea who I am, who have no idea who Pete Pena is, who Tracy Morrow is, who Robert Hudgens are, because we're not the ones that are constantly being announced on the National Wake Up Call. And if you recognize Beachbody does edify those who are producing those numbers, and that's who you get to know. But I want to make sure that you guys understand that a lot of those numbers, especially nowadays, and I know for a fact, like for instance, what Ashley Molstead sponsors every month, because obviously she's in our downline, that it's not and it's hard to say because I can't say it's impossible. Everything is possible. That's what I always feel like. Everything is possible, but the system of how it's happening is not going to be something that is replicated and duplicated amongst every Joe Schmo coach. Does that make sense? That a lot of what she's doing, I don't really know, but she sponsors around 150 coaches per month. And so with that, that is not humanly possible. So there is companies or assistants and other people doing that work. So what I always really focus on for helping people be able to grow their coaching business is I always want to make sure that whatever I'm sharing is logical, doable, and that anybody can do. And I always want to stand from that place, and not saying that she's not teaching that, because she may be teaching her system to other people. I don't know. But I just want to make sure that you understand, don't compare your results to what Beachbody's announcing, because that is not going to be what the average Coach 101 is going to do. And honestly, that's not what Janelle Summers is doing either. And Janelle is one of the most successful coaches, always showing up on those top leaderboards. So that's a mark from here to there. And I just want to make sure you guys feel comfortable with that doesn't mean success or not success. And that's why I want to go through some of these questions. So again, if you do or don't have that document, no worries, just take out a notepad. And I'm going to ask you some questions, and you don't need to share these answers. I want these to be completely for yourself, because when you answer these questions, you're going to have a great understanding of where you are, especially because many of you just completed Heather's program for moving up to Diamond. And I know she told me, obviously, because I really wanted to find out where many of you guys were in the process of it, that no one had achieved that goal. So you're standing from a place of following through, doing a training program, and then not hitting that goal sometimes can hit you in the gut and make you second guess yourself or think that this is not for me or this doesn't work. But I want to go through some of these questions so that we have a great foundation and starting place, so that you know where you can go and that it is possible to be here 10 years later, 20 years later, whatever it is. Because outside of just myself, if I look at my personally sponsored leader team, it's crazy. This is different. Our business model is different than other business models out there. And I interact with a lot of other network marketing companies because I make connections with those leaders. But it's not very common or normal to have a ton of people who are achieving, and still growing in a business 10 years later. Usually that whittles down to a very, very few number, but I have that example. My team, my top leadership is still showing up. And that is more than like 20 to 30 people. And that's 10 years later. That is so strong. That is one of the strongest points, that when I got started, I had hired an expert in network marketing to help me figure out what to do. And that money that I was earning, so if you've ever seen that big check of me standing on stage, $126,000, that was actually a 3-month bonus for achieving, Superstar Diamond. And every quarter, the money's pooled in those pools. I was the only one that was 15 star, so I got that portion of the check for the 3 months. But I didn't look at it as money. I kind of look at it as like monopoly money. I didn't even keep it myself. I reinvested all of the money right back into the team, and I hired an expert in network marketing, a salary, and all of his travel for over a year. And what he told us in the very beginning, and this is something that I think is hard for coaches to really grasp because most of them are just trying to get it off the ground. And nowadays, to get it off the ground with the amount of competition online is really, really hard. I hope you see that if you're depending on building your foundation team from people that you don't know, that you're gonna meet and see your post for the first time, and then they join, most likely, I'm never gonna say never, most likely your team is not going to have the foundation of leaders. My network marketing coach said that eventually you're going to get to a place where you have 10 solid leaders, where basically you can go to sleep on Wednesday night and not even blink an eye. And that's where you have the most stable foundation for a business. And so moving up towards that, if I review who are my pillars, who is my foundation, is it people that I met brand new on social media? Yeah, there's a few, but the majority of my foundation team who's still in it 10 years later and I'm not fearful they're gonna disappear or go inactive, is people I already knew. It's people I already knew before joining as a coach. So I know you can meet people online, but I hope you know that your foundation for the ones who really invest with you and long-term and more of a solid control is really going to be people that you already know in your life or that are connected to people that you already know in life. So yes, you're going to build online. Of course, we all have to, but the competition is so aggressive and high that it's really hard to compete when you're just trying to get yourself off the ground. Your most beautiful post is not going to be what changes your business. And so let's go through those questions because I want to kind of start with that foundation. So first question I want you to ask yourself and write it down is this. What problem did you want to solve when you joined as a coach as the most important issue or problem for yourself? What was that biggest reason? And I'm not going to say what is your why because I kind of don't like that because it makes people come up to a point of a why that they know they'll never really get deep down in their heart because they're not going to put the work there. So really, if you strip away business activity, when you said, yes, I want to join, what's the biggest problem you needed to solve for yourself? And then tagging on that, what's the biggest problem you really wanted to help other people with? So write that down because that's going to be really important. The second question is, what is the most important part about coaching that you need in your life? So what is the most important part about coaching that you need in your life? Mostly you'll kind of do it without even having coaching or products or any of it. You do it, you love it, it's deep in your bones. What is that? Third question, what's your honest and your personal feeling? I put feels. So if you got the document, it says feels. But what's your honest and personal feeling towards network marketing? And I've got some choices for you right here. A, it does work. B, it doesn't work. Your honest and your most personal, deepest feeling about network marketing. Do you feel it works or not? And to stem off of that, number 4, do you have any of these thoughts or feelings towards network marketing or coaching in general? A, it's not really a job. B, not responsible to it because they're not your employer. It's not your job. C, it's accepted socially to quit or fail in network marketing. D, there isn't a job description, so I don't have a strong commitment towards it. So in all of those questions, yes or no, do you feel any of those? And it's not a matter of choose one, it's yes or no, do you feel any of those? A 5th question, and we're almost done. What is your feeling or attitude towards what you are promoting and selling. Yes, I did say the S word, selling. What's your feeling about it? And 6, what do you feel when you don't hit a goal, or you don't follow through, or you don't do what you know you should do? So what do you feel? And I'm going to give you some suggestions. A, do you feel like you just want to hide in the background so no one will notice? B, it doesn't really matter as it doesn't really have a negative effect on you? C, it's no big deal if you don't hit those goals or follow through or do what you're supposed to do? D, you worry about what other people will think about you or label you? And E, your investment is so low with being a coach, so it's not really a big deal if you don't. So all of those are questions that are self-revealing. I don't need to go through them because obviously you can see that if you connected strongly to a bunch of them, then that means that your mindset and your heart and your real connection and vision towards what this really is not there. And if you don't have a carefree, all in, passionate, this stuff doesn't apply to me, no, I believe in this, I don't care what other people think. If you don't have that feeling, then growth is really going to be hard. So I would say that that's going to be, if you felt a lot of these negativities, that's going to have to be your first thing. If you ever want any of this to be a success, you have to be all in. And I'm going to say this probably multiple times, but think about the people that you're asking to do this with you, whether it's just a customer to do a challenge group or to join your coaching team. If you're feeling any of that negative stuff that I just asked, that is going to be conveyed. They're not going to want to be connected or a part of this because you're not completely invested. So that may be a reason for why prospecting and recruiting, or whatever you want to call it, sponsoring new coaches is difficult for you, because you're putting out this vibe that you still question a lot. And that will be obvious. So now I'm just going to now go through some things that I had as a fill in the blank, but you guys can fill in the blank. I said these things are going to be some watch out warnings. So these are some things that you really want to make sure that you just watch out for, because if you just know, you know what, this stuff is out there and I know that it's going to be tempting. It's going to want to sway me to thinking these thoughts, but that's not important. So these things are not important for your success. The first one, competing with other coaches. So all of those coaches whose names are being announced on the National Wake Up Call, or that are going to be on stage at Summit, or even myself with the titles and whatever I've achieved, competing with other people and hitting the number that other people are achieving is not what you should be competing for or towards. So watch out for that. The next thing is FOMO, a fear of missing out. A fear of missing out means that you see what everyone else is doing and you're like, oh my gosh, that person just put up this kind of a video over here. I got to do that too. When you start to see activity that is getting done and you question, wait a minute, I thought we were told not to do that, but they're doing that and they're super successful. That's a red flag, because you don't really know how successful someone really is. I love watching these documentaries, and I just watched it again, one last night on Netflix called Social Animals. And I really love to see how, it's actually a bad thing too, but I really like to see how people are putting it out there of how twisted and how fake really online life is. It really is. Everyone's life is perfect. Everyone lives in this perfect, sugar house. So you really don't know what someone's coaching success really looks like behind the mirror. And that was actually one of my Instagram posts for today. I put up like a smoke and mirrors picture, because when you are trying to constantly filter yourself or edit your pictures or try to create a story that's not really real, when you keep trying to live this fake life, eventually it's going to come true. Something's going to come out and you're going to get fed up. And that's actually what is really happening to a lot of these Insta famous people, is they're so wrapped up in the number, the likes, the following, and what they've got to put up. Eventually, many of them are burning out so much because of that pressure and responsibility of perfection. So the fear of missing out You got to swipe that away. And I would be a liar if I didn't say I was tempted by that too. I constantly see the successes of other coaches, and I constantly feel of that guilt of, well, I'm not helping other people achieve another super title, then I'm failing as a leader. No one is against FOMO. You just have to keep checking yourself. And that's one big area that you want to really make sure that you watch out for. The next thing is you got to watch out for is trying to make everyone have, and I forgot what I wrote, so let me get my scribble notes. That's funny. Trying to make everyone have, where did I put you? Watch out. Oh, right. Okay. Trying to make everyone, where is it? Hold a moment. Never mind. See, this is how I write up notes. So you guys know this is how it starts. And then I try to boil it all back down again. Trying to make everyone, oh, that's what it is. So trying to make everyone have success. So say, for instance, like Heather's running this group. I don't know how many people were in the group. Let's say there was 20 people that rose their hand and said, yes, I want to work as hard as I can for 5 weeks to move my business up to diamond and to make X amount of money. Well, she can't try to make everyone have success. 20 people are not going to have success. Realistically, the law of average, only about 1 or 2 people would actually move up and forward. That's it. So like every 10 people that you talk to, maybe one of them will actually move forward with you. So you can't make everyone want to do it. So if you only have 2 people sponsored and you're an Emerald coach, sorry, you can't make those 2 people want to do it as a business. Grandma's not going to want to do it as business. So you really have to keep bringing in more people to identify the ones who actually will want to and show up. Like one of my coaches is on this call right now, Dalila. She constantly shows up, but I don't ever discount her because I have worked with her long enough and I know this ebbs and flows of her business as well as mine. She probably sees it too, where I'm in and out because that's life. So I don't ever discount her because I know that she's in it. Her teeth are sinking in it. And that's what you want to think about when you are giving your time to help other people have success in this business, is give your time to the people who do show up and that you've learned that they're not excuse makers or drama filled, that you know it's this ebbs and flows. So always be sure that you do that. What's the next thing? Number 1 focus is on money. I probably shouldn't have done fill in the blank because I can't remember what I'm writing here. But it's, if your number 1 focus is money, it's not going to happen. Check out any top coach in this company. None of them did this for the money. None of them. Yes, they're making it now. And yes, it is now providing for their life. And yes, it now is an incentive. But that's not going to help you have success because that is going to be obvious. So if your goal is doing this for the money, that has to be a side effect of your number 1 reason why you're doing it. Assigning responsibility for your growth and success to someone else. So whether that is your coach or your Success Club partner, if you're putting the responsibility on someone else for your lack of success and you're not taking ownership of it, that's a huge red flag. Your success is your issue. It's not your coach. Many times people want to cancel from their coach and get a new coach because they see that grass is greener on the other side. Good luck. You will just lose your spot again because your same old habits, what you didn't do, which you know you should do to be able to grow this business, it's not hard. To really get this business off the ground does not require a lot of intricate activity. It's basics, but over and over and over and over and tweaking and tweaking and over. That's it. So another coach is not going to have a magical system. Just like some other company can have another magical shake, it's all the same shakes. Got to think of it that way. It's you. So trying to put the responsibility of, oh, my coach doesn't do this for me. No, it's yourself. Everyone is responsible for their own growth. This is the way I look at it. And not everyone's going to agree with us because I sent this message off to one of my other top coaches, Mindy Lawhorn, the other day, that it drives me bonkers because I get these messages all the time. It drives me bonkers when someone sends me a message saying, I'm not successful. My coach doesn't do anything. They up and left me. They're not doing anything. I want to get this off the ground. Well, really, if you think about it, this information is free everywhere. I think that Beachbody and all of the top leader coaches can train you to death on the basics over and over and over again. What should you do to get your business off the ground and at least get to Emerald or potentially Diamond? That activity doesn't really change. That's exactly the same kind of stuff over and over again. Where having a mentor is really important is when you're trying to develop yourself in that upper level of leadership. But the foundation, that's basic stuff that really is going to require you to build in more accountability, consistency, and to just do it. That is going to have to be a strong foundation. And when you show up, that's when you're going to really start to see those changes. And the final one, company will do something. I think I was talking about the company's going to try to distract you. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. The company's going to distract you and try to make you feel, again, like you need to achieve certain titles or numbers. This is your thing. So now let me bring you back to the first question I asked you. What is the number one reason why you joined as a coach? What is that feeling? What did you really want to get out of this? Did that change because you felt that you were not succeeding and that you're failing as a coach because you didn't hit a title or you're not making X amount of money? Did that change? A lot of the times, yes, it does. Because you come in with one feeling and desire, but then you get caught up in this pot and you start getting on the national wake-up call and you start seeing what all these other people are doing. You start building on this fictitious pressure of, I'm supposed to do that. I'm supposed to achieve that. And if I don't, then I'm not a success. And then you get wrapped up in that when you don't achieve that, you fall back and then eventually quit. But what's really the foundation of why you want to be a coach? What's the worst out of that? So now knowing all of that and what you want to help with yourself as well as other people, now let's go to the other side. Well, how can we make it happen? How can you keep picking back up? How can you see a different vision for now what you want to do? Because quite honestly, Diamond is a great rank. And I'm not going to say don't achieve it. Yes, you got to achieve it, but you can't stop there. Diamond can't be the roof of your house. And too many times it is. A lot of times people put diamond as the marker to achieve, and that's the roof of their house, and they get there. And that's it. And then what happens? You get water damage in the cellar, and the thing starts falling down. Your house starts to crumble because you didn't grow past diamond. Most of the time, when you get to that rank, you can't stop that activity. You have to keep building, again, like another diamond business again, because unfortunately, the 12 people that you have in your downline, your business center that made that diamond for you, not all 12 are going to stay. They're not. Some are going to quit after 3 months of drink and Shakeology. That's just what happens. And if you never continued your activity, you're feverishly going to be trying to replace someone. But if you grow past it and just know, going back to those original questions of those negative feelings, if you don't feel that, you should not have any negative feelings towards wanting to share this with other people and to keep building more people to be a part of what you're doing. That should be where you're focusing. And I use this little analogy. So diamond is a great rank. Why is it important to get to? Does it mean it's a lot more money? No, it doesn't. Because again, all it is 12 people. And if you've got 12 people just on Shakeology Home Direct, you're still not building a ton of volume. And you know you need to have volume, 2/3, 1/3, balanced in your legs to be able to keep making good cycles. And if you're not sponsoring more, and if you're not teaching those people in that leg to sponsor more, you're always going to have this one leg that barely has any volume because it's just 4 people on 90 PVs. That's it. So Diamond, though, is a great place to go outside of Emerald. And this is kind of the analogy I want to use. And I don't know if it's good or bad. It just popped in my head. So you could tell me if it's a bad one because then we won't let it get out from here. But I kind of equated Diamond like you bought a house. Think of that. So if you've ever purchased a house, like it's a pretty substantial thing to do in life, to own a house. You're committed. You're in. You can't just flippantly like say, I hate this house and just walk out. Nope, you got a mortgage. You're in. But when you're coach or Emerald status, it's kind of like you're renting a studio apartment that you're on a month-to-month rent. You know, it's like, I'm not really committed. I can leave town and, oh, well, I lose 1 month of my studio deposit. That's it. That's kind of where I equate Emerald to when you're a Diamond. And the company obviously puts a little bit more weight in people who are diamond because of that reason. It shows that you are committed and that you see growth for yourself in here. But truth is, not everyone's going to be a 15-star diamond. Not everyone's going to be a 6-figure earner right away. Not everyone's going to be 5-star diamond. Always comes back to that first thing I asked you. What do you really want to get out of this? And where does that sit? Because you know what? I have plenty of very, very successful coaches of mine who have hit 5-star diamond years ago, and they still maintain their 5-star diamond because the core group of people that they have at that rank are really a tribe for them, and they're doing it strongly as a team. But that doesn't say that she has to grow a higher team. Maybe that's not your leadership. Not everybody is cut out to being the go-to person, the pillar of leadership where you're responsible to create and support and do everything for people. Not everybody's cut out for that. But that is one thing that I want to offer. So I'm going to wrap it up with this. Here's what you can do to restart, re-engage, really get yourself out there to make a bigger difference with your business. Now, Heather probably already has a system that she talked about a phase 1, and I don't know exactly what that consists of, but if I was looking at boiling down, what really do you need to do to grow your business every day? It's always about the first thing, inviting someone to check out the coaching business or a product. That's it. Always asking someone every day and always following up with someone that you did already ask, or maybe it's just going to be following up with someone in life. In the Platinum Presenters University website, I don't know if you've been in there for a while, but I loaded in there a really solid system. It doesn't have drink Shakeology every day on it. It doesn't. Sorry. Kind of comes to a point where you're working out and you're eating healthy and you're drinking Shakeology shouldn't have to be a checklist. It shouldn't. That should just kind of be normal. It's normal for me to listen to personal development as I drive. I just do it. That's just get in the car and immediately go to the podcast app. So certain things are going to have to be normal for you. But if you log into the Platinum Presenters University, there's a training in there that I put in there called the Daily Method of Operation. And what that checkoff list is, and you can either print the one that is print a sheet per day or print off a week and fill it in for the day that you're going to do it. But that is, if you're not going to do anything else, just do that. And that system, it's 5-3-3-3-5. That's what it boils down to. And it's about doing certain 5 activities of this, 3 activities of this, 3 activities of this, 3 activities of this, and 5 activities of that. So if you follow that DMO, that is boom foundation every day. There is no mistaking of, are you consistent? Are you doing it? It's right there. But you have to invite people every day. You have to follow up with people every day. And then, yay, it might be a great thing if you can, oh, thanks so much, Heather, for putting that up. Oh, I hit it wrong. 3-5-5-5-3. Totally. Yeah, so let's just quick talk about it since she's got it right up here. So these are the bare minimum. And I first learned about this from following a podcaster. His name is Simon Chan. He does the podcast MLM Nation. And I was actually a featured speaker on there, and I had him speak at the Platinum Edge this year. But the DMO is not anything new to just Simon Chan. It's what network marketers do, period. You can Google, and you're going to see a ton of other people's DMOs. The DMO is, these are the 5 basic things that you have to do every day, and this will 100% grow your business. So every day, create 3 pieces of content for social media. And that doesn't mean that it has to be 3 Instagram posts. It just means maybe one post is a post you put up in your challenge group, another is an Instagram post, and one's a story over on Snapchat. But basically, you have to get in the habit of feeling responsible to creating value and content to put your footprint out there. You have to have your breadcrumbs. You have to put it yourself out there. 5 new contacts a day, online or off. And that is by making sure that you're always adding people to your list. So what does the CLAM message mean? CLAM means comment, like, add, and message. So when someone's on your post, you comment, you like their post, you add them as a friend, and you send them a personal message. And your personal message is not, I hate these messages. Hey, I saw you liked my fitness post. Are you into fitness? I'm into fitness. I love fitness, and I love drinking my shake every day. No, that's not what you're going to put. You could put something as simple as, oh, thanks so much for liking my post I put up of my dog running around in the yard. He gets me so muddy all the time. Do you have dogs? Like something simple about life and just making that point-to-point connection. And there's a real big reason why that's important. And it's because of Facebook analytics and what Mark wants you to do. So I don't know if you guys do or don't know, but Facebook is going to be changing drastically over the summer. And it's a super duper, 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 duper heavy focus on groups and personal messaging. Super heavy. So video, groups, and private using the Messenger app. That has got to be the cornerstone of everything you do with Facebook. And if you do, Mark is going to love you. And stories too. So stories, because even though they aren't great, but still do it. So who cares? Repurpose your Instagram or your Snapchat over on your Facebook. Just put it up there because Mark is going to see that you were using it, and he loves people who use the stuff that he wants to have out there. But Mari Smith is my guru for everything Facebook, and she just did a live today talking about a lot of the changes that are going to be happening with it. So messaging is one of the most important parts that you could do because there's an algorithm with it that when you message someone and they reply back, then that creates this open communication to the algorithm in Facebook where it says, oh, that person actually wants to talk to them. And they start showing your stuff to that person's feed a lot more. So that's really important. 5, the other thing, again, is just invite 5 people to product or coaching. Again, this is definitely going to be something that you're going to have to establish and get in the habit of. And this could be a around the bend kind of invitation, meaning you see someone that you've been chatting to for a while and you then send them that scary message of, hey, would you ever consider coaching? Would you check out a video about it? Like that's what that message could be, but 5 of those. And then 5, follow up with any 5 contacts. So this, again, does not always mean that you have to follow up with 5 people that you shared the business with. It's just follow up with 5 people, boom, that's it. It's 5 people of following up with an email in Messenger that you had a long time ago with someone that you were talking about dogs and you just have never talked to them again. Maybe just send them an update like, hey, what's been going on? You guys got plans for the summer. So it doesn't always mean you have to follow up with someone and say, are you going to do coaching? Are you going to do coaching? Are you getting in a challenge group? But those may be part of it. Those are the most primary ones that you should focus on. And then 3, ask 3 contacts or leads to watch the coaching business. What's the difference between that one and the above? This one is you're getting an affirmative answer from that person saying, yes, I want to. So when you've got 3 people that said, yes, add me to that sneak peek group, or yes, send me the video link, or yes, let me have a call with you and your sponsor, whomever, that's the 3. So there's a video training on this in Platinum Presenters University. I just want to make sure that you guys know that. But let me quick run through this because I know we're going way over time. But the first thing is restarting in your business is, again, really feeling comfortable and passionate and deeply invested in exactly what this is all about and believing 100% that this is legitimate and that you are responsible to it. And that is going to be one of the best tips I'm going to give you. Ready? So restarting your business, the first thing I'm going to suggest for all of y'all, even if you don't have a team, maybe you're just going to put this post out on your social media to the followers because your followers are your voyeurs. They're watching to see, oh, really? Oh, you really in this thing? Oh, you're just sometimes in it and sometimes not? That's what they're watching. They're watching your behavior. They're judging to decide if this is legit. So the first thing I'm going to suggest, if you really want to make a huge difference, if you don't feel that you're really been all in and really want to make this huge change for growth, you need to put out a vulnerability post and hold yourself accountable. Because when you put out a post out there telling your 2-person team or telling your social media following, hey, you guys, I've been dabbling with coaching. I really haven't invested every day to make sure that I follow a system. But this time, things are changing. I'm holding myself accountable, and the way I'm doing it is by putting this public. What doesn't make you follow through when you announce it? Because think about how many times you started a diet on Monday, but you never told anyone. So by Wednesday, probably the afternoon, you already cheated. It didn't matter. Nobody knew you were dieting that week. Nobody knew you were trying to lose 10 pounds that week. So who cares? Oh, it's Wednesday. I already ruined the week. I'll restart again on Monday. When you don't follow through and connect with someone with strong accountability on what you want to do, it's easy to just, who cares? All right, second thing. You can't have an addiction or an obsession or a deep connection to the outcome. And this might seem a little different than what you're thinking, because it is, yes, about someone that you invited and you're like, oh, please, please, please join with me. Yes, of course, you shouldn't be connected and have that addiction to them saying yes, because you know full well the amount of people that you email or message, how many of them get back to you on your timeline. I mean, it could be the end of the month and you're still needing 2 Success Club points to meet your minimum goal. And someone says, oh yeah, I'll go home and I'll go get that challenge pack. Okay. It is not a guarantee, because you can't depend on other people doing it on your timeline. So obviously you can't be connected to the outcome of people saying they will, or I love it too, because it's just not going to happen. But here's something else I want you to think about. Don't be so connected to the amount of likes you get or how many followers you have. So if you're thinking about your content is just not getting people to fall all over it, well, obviously you know that there's always ebbs and flows in what they're doing online. But realistically, as long as you're constantly trying to improve your message, the kind of content that you put up, that it actually is directed towards your target market, then you really kind of have to do like a la 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 with likes and the followers. Just keep trying to improve and keep doing the activity that is going to grow your following or your business and offering value. And that stuff will then eventually flip. And I know this for myself, is that I built my Instagram page out of little mini exercise videos that spoke to someone's quick fix need. Get rid of the belly pooch with this ab exercise. Because back in the day, that's what we were supposed to do with our social media content, to create content that people say they want and will kind of get more of an organic viral reach. And that would then connect to the feeders of their following. But now I built a following of all these kind of quick fix people, or Beachbody coaches, really. So with my message having to switch over to not be the let's do an ab exercise to get rid of the belly pooch, is going to take a dip and a lull to rebuild my following to be who I want that to be, my right person, the person I would like to have dinner with, if that makes sense. So don't get connected to that. And the final thing that I'm going to leave you with, and then it's up to you, Heather, if you want to do question and answer. I know I went way over, which is always a guarantee. Here's something to think about. Slow and steady. So if you've held this feeling of, you know what, I'm just going to take it really slow. I'm going to just grow at this pace that feels good to me. And that's not a wrong thing, but this is what I want you to think about if you've ever gotten down on yourself about not having success or not achieving a goal or whatever it is it can create a laziness. It will also allow you to accept a lot of your excuses. Oh, it's my daughter's birthday this weekend, so I've got no time to do anything else this week. I don't know if this chat is for me. I'll look at that in a second. Where are we at? Oh, thanks so much, Heather, for putting that there. That will create those acceptance of excuses. You know, it's just a busy time of year. We're going away on summer vacation. I can't do any of that. It creates a lot of inconsistency. So a slow and steady pace is very inconsistent because you're not keeping that fever of responsibility on your shoulders to show up and to provide value. It also is going to create a lot more of a disinterest. You know, those things where you kind of got started, you were excited a little bit, but you didn't really go all in. You know, you didn't buy, I use this example, the cycling attire. You bought a bike, but you still wear your kind of like shorts and shirt, but you didn't wear like the Speedo cycling stuff. You kind of lose disinterest. You kind of get disconnected because you're like, you know what, it's no big deal. I'm not really getting any results out of this anyway. You'll fall off. And it's also, you'll forget to improve yourself because most jobs these days don't require you to work on improving your personal self, your mindset, or your skills. A lot of it is task at hand. So slow and steady can create that. I'm not saying it's wrong. I just want you to be aware. But here's what the best thing I'm going to suggest. Put that fever, put that announcement out there, the vulnerability, accountability post, and remove all addiction to outcomes, and try to put a burst of activity. So if you can give yourself a strong goal and really kind of put a lot more responsibility for you to bring on the most amount of team that you can. How many people do you need to share the business with to try to really create a lot more interest and get people signed up as coaches or in your challenge group? Because if you could create a rush of people in, whatever that is, whether it's customers or it's coaches, you're responsible to them. You have to keep moving forward because you did this burst activity. And so again, what that looks like is always the law of averages. For every 10, maybe one person will. So if you're thinking, okay, well, I'm going to do this week, I'm going to set this goal that I'm going to have 5 people sign up as a coach. Well, what does that actually look like? That looks like you're going to have to invite between 50 and 60 people to check out the business, but more importantly, follow up with those people too. And so burst activity is going to be your strongest foot, your foundation to invest yourself with more responsibility to have that success. So I believe that is way more than I thought I was going to, but I always say more than I should. So I'm sorry about that. Hopefully this was valuable.
This is awesome. Actually, I was going to do a team training on me talking about those operations, the 5 daily operations. So it was perfect that you were able to do it because I saw that in your university. I'm like, oh, this is golden. Yeah. So it's perfect. All of it. It's just, I like the reflection pieces too. Okay, so Tanya says, how, if I announce I'm a health and fitness coach, do I say Beachbody? She said she likes the idea of holding herself accountable. So what would you recommend online?
So the vulnerability, accountability post, I don't think you necessarily ever have to say, so I'm reinvesting into it as a Beachbody coach. Just choose your words wisely. Again, you've seen this all over, the whole curiosity marketing. Whenever you're talking about your Shakeology, in a nutshell, it's always a generic thing. So it's a shake. It doesn't have to be my daily dose of healthy nutrition shake because that is so overused and people now are aware of that. So just always strip everything down to what is this actual thing? Well, this is my phone. It doesn't need to be an iPhone. So always make everything generic. And if you don't necessarily have to say like, I'm a health and fitness coach unless you really kind of have a lot of that credential where you can change your words to be whatever feels good for you. So for instance, that one girl on the Housewives out in Beverly Hills, the Mellencamp girl, she is an accountability coach, so I don't know what her fitness background is or not, but she uses that as her term that when you put that post out there, I would just say, I'm investing stronger in my fitness journey and I'm wanting to bring other people. So you're going to hold me to it and I'll hold you to it. But remember, whatever you claim as your title, if you have to put a title out there, that's who you're claiming is who you want to help. So for me, I'm not going to put it out there saying, I just want to help people lose weight because I don't. That is hard. I have the background. I have the health and fitness background, but I'm not a weight loss coach because you know how exhausting and hamster wheel that is and how that really pulls in a lot of people who say they want to, but then when it comes right down to it, they don't follow through because they don't want to invest money. So just be careful in the words that you choose because if you do want to be that, if that is exactly what you want to be, and you're not looking to build team and leadership and stuff, then say that. That's all my advice on that is.
Awesome. Cool. Any other questions? That's a great question. Especially just like, how do I say, and people don't join people. Or people don't join companies. They really do join people.
Yeah. And you can just say, for instance, if it is about your coaching, just say health coaching business. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't always necessarily have to be naming any name. I say aligned with a health and fitness company. I use that to kind of let people know it's not me and my own program, which a lot of people still think, but I say I'm developing my coaching business aligned with a health and fitness company. Mm-hmm. So choose whatever words and kind of look around to see what other people say that feels good for you.
Awesome. Any other questions? Wow. Okay, you guys, let's show her some love and then don't go away. I want to take a boomerang so I can thank you guys. This was awesome, Christine. This is so great. And I love how it's like you define your own success. That's what, like everyone needs to define what that is and put a fortress on that focus. It's just so important.
It is. It's easy to be pressured to create other people's success.
Yes. It was just awesome. Okay. So here we go, y'all. Let's boomerang. You can do something goofy or just wave or smile. It's totally up to you. Okay.
I'm just seeing you. Is it just me?
Oh.
Do I have to hit gallery view? Is that me too?
Yeah, I think you do.
Oh. I've always just been looking at a large picture of someone.
Were you looking at me the whole time?
I was actually looking at a black screen of one of my coaches, Daryl. It said his name, Daryl. That's it.
That is hilarious. Okay. All right. So, well, I'm just going to count down, guys. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. I got it.
Cute.
All right. Thank you all for joining us. We are going to definitely be storing this for future uses because this is a message. These are messages to be, sending along to our teams and our new coaches that aren't here yet on the call. So thanks again, you guys. Christine, you rock. Thanks for all you do.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Bye.